Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Lawliet versus Moon. This game taking place here on Terranistan. Over here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have, well, a red Night Elf player. And alone. Moon should be alone. So over here, I believe this is Moon. Moon over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lawliet over here on the top left. If I do have them backwards and switch, my apologies. I thought one of Moon's handles was in fact alone. I wish I could cast games like you, but my German accent is strong. Well, luckily for me, English is my primary language, so that is the reason why I can cast, speak quickly, and you know what? Amongst everyone, I think we kind of expect a slight German accent based on the Back to WarCraft guys. I think am I one of the few Americans who are still casting WarCraft 3? Yeah, maybe I am. Does anyone actually know of any other American WarCraft 3 casters? I don't know. If there is, by default, I am the biggest American WarCraft 3 caster because I'm the only American WarCraft 3 caster. Anyways, Warden gonna be trained up over here by Lawliet. Meanwhile, Moon going for Keeper of the Grove. There is an Ancient of War off to the north here. And we'll see how many archers will be trained. We've seen interesting strategies coming in from Moon in the past, and it could happen again. Keeper of the Grove is an extremely powerful and versatile hero early on. And its harassment ability is really strong as well, and some players just really don't know how to deal with it yet. A lot of people were saying that, you know what, early on in the game it's just so difficult to deal with Keeper of the Grove now, and it really has more to do with the fact that no one really played against Keeper of the Grove harass in the previous years. All right, Archer, is it going to actually try and move away? Is it going to? Yes, it is going to move away in time, try to finish off those rogues right there. Going to go in and finish off one Archer, or excuse me, Warden now getting a bit of experience as that damage is starting to add back up. There's a big Phantom Knives right there. Renegade Wizard should end up getting taken down. We see some Force Troll Shadow Priest added in as well, just in case there is a Keeper of the Grove. I'll say it before I'll say it again. With the addition and the power of the Keeper of the Grove now, any map that doesn't have a mercenary camp for early dispel, that Keeper of the Grove might shine a little bit too well. The Keeper of the Grove being able to entangle a unit and pretty much you're pretty much powerless to stop it, that can grow into a very big advantage. The Keeper of the Grove is able to do a strong bit of harassment while perhaps teching secretly behind it. All of those are viable options here as we now see some Ents now make their way forward. All right, Forest Troll, Shadow Priest. Oh, there's an Entangle onto that Wisp there. Is it going to try and detonate? Yes, it is going to detonate. No bonus experience as the Keeper of the Grove picks up a Circlet of Nobility. Meanwhile, back off to the north side here, Lawliet. Well, he did go for a Warden, and Moon does know that there is actually a Warden here. The Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, I didn't explain it before, the Abolish magic, both effective against the Ents and also that Entangle, and because of that, that Force Troll Shadow Priest, you almost need a 2 of in order to combat against the, well, very strong harassment of that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove now making its way forward here, 600 hit points worth of damage absorbed by those Ents right there, while still dishing some out of their own. Force Troll Berserker will get taken out, and Moon, no stranger to trying to set up expansions, looks like he's going to line up a Tree of Life here momentarily as a Wisp gets ready. Meanwhile, back in the center portion here, we already have a Tree of Life 3/4 or, well, actually 5/6 of the way done. It's going to go ahead, uproot itself, move towards that gold mine here, and that is going to be, well, a bit problematic. Getting that early of an economic advantage does really help out Lawliet. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life here is only here for a game of catch-up, and what may end up happening is if that Tree of Life gets harassed in the next minute and a half to 2, it will significantly delay any sort of mining. Sasquatch gonna get taken out. Keeper of the Grove about, well, I don't know if the Ancient of War actually got the kill on that, As we're taking a look at the Keeper of the Grove here, still wandering around, I thought its experience would be slightly higher, but I could be mistaken. Warden now making its way out. There are some sentry wards already down out. Keeper of the Grove gets a good entangle onto that Warden, but the Warden, well, as you know, a hero does not get entangled for really that long. Abolish magic quickly being used to try and focus down some of those force of natures, and there they go. There's another abolish magic, as the Keeper of the Grove may have enough gas in the tank for one more. Force Troll, Shadow Priest, Scroll of Town Portal now being used, but at what cost? In order to try and save, you can take a look. This archer may end up getting taken down. One more shot should do. Nope. Oh my gosh, there it goes, finally getting taken down. All right, I thought the Shadow Strike did come to an end, so I don't know if it was accidentally killed by his own friendly fire to try and deny some experience. Warden now making its way back down here. Solo Warden with Shadow Strike is also a very, very deadly casting ability here. Is the Warden with level 2 Shadow Strike gonna be enough? Perhaps going after the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Oh, there it goes. There's a little bit of damage. Warden, however, taking a lot more than it would really like. Did it try to abolish magic? No, it did not. Forest Troll Berserker just getting healed up slowly but surely. Meanwhile, moving back off to the north here, this Tree of Life has been reset. This Tree of Life about to finish entangling this gold mine, and that will give Lawliet a big economic advantage moving on into the mid-game. Ancients of Lore are being added. Let's take a look at Moon. Moon has yet to build any Ancients of Lore that I can see. Ancient of Wonders, Ancient of War. We are at, well, we are not even at tier 2 yet. There are more Huntresses out for Moon, so Moon does have a decent size army as well. There is a bunch of piercing damage coming across from Lawliet, which may allow him to focus down those Huntresses rather quickly. That's going to be an incredibly important battle here, as the Ancient of War, well, absorbing a lot of damage. There you go, dealing a little bit more. Huntresses are going to go ahead and try to dive on in onto this Tree of Life, as the Huntresses with that range or that glaive throw attack. Oh, there is the Sentinel, and well, revealing that Warden right there. All right. Are we going to perhaps see a Shadow Strike? Yes, Shadow Strike onto the Huntress. Are we going to see some Abolish Magic? Wisp now trying to make its way over there. Perhaps getting a detonation here. Ancient of War taking a lot more damage than it would like, as it does get taken out. Meanwhile, Warden still has a good amount of mana. Is it going to be able to focus down any of these units, as the Keeper of the Grove now gets to level 4. Level 2, and well, Force of Nature, or well, no, reinforcements now coming across as well. It looks as though the, well, Huntress not going to be able to finish off the Warden. We could perhaps see a Fan of Knives or another Shadow Strike come in. Warden trying to push back into a corner, unable to finish off those two Huntresses there. There goes one. No, Scroll of Healing. One goes down. Warden, Potion of Invulnerability, is going to be able to finish off any more extra units. There goes the Shadow. Oh, gets 2 more units right as the Scroll of Town Portal does go off. Tree of Life still mining away. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life has yet to be mined. Gold difference, about 1,000 gold now, and we'll see who actually comes out ahead. Moon, it has the larger army, 47 supply compared to 32, and that just seems as a bit of a surprise. Let's take a look. Nature's Bless. Where is Nature's Blessing being researched, or are the colors backwards? Tree of Ages. Okay, the colors are backward. Red. Moon is red. And yeah, all right, so Moon is red. Okay, that was absolutely confusing. Moon is red, Lawliet is green. I don't know, this looks like green to me. I'm sorry. So yes, the supply is showing that Lawliet is down to 38 supply with the smaller army. He is behind. Moon already has expansion up and running, and my apologies, but you can't really blame me, or I guess you can if you really want to. I won't. You can blame me. Dryads now making their way into the Tree of Life, gonna go ahead and try and take it down. Entangled Gold Mine gonna suffer a little bit of damage here, but that's just a bunch of piercing damage already, as the Mud Golem now makes its way across. Goblin Zeppelin will be added for some sort of quick retreat tactic as well, as the Dryads now making their way across here. We have Ballistas though. Excuse me, Glaive Throwers now being added in here. Glaive Throwers, a bunch of splash damage. Fan of Knives comes across. but the Glaive Throwers are still in the back, dealing a good amount of damage here. All right, let's take a look. Glaive Throwers, beautiful micro, picking up, being picked up and dropped back off as the Fan of Knives, well, doesn't finish off many of those units. All right, we are still looking to see who's going to be able to come out ahead. Moon down to 42. Meanwhile, 35 on the other side as the Keeper of the Grove going to try and escape. All right, there is an entangle there on that Ogre Mauler as the Glaives are continuing to fight back and forth, perhaps making it difficult, just constantly picking up and dropping off. Dryads, abolish magic continually. Finally, Goblin Zeppelin does pick up the target. 5 Glaive Throwers just absolutely switching the pacing of that game. Meanwhile, the Goblin Zeppelin is still overhead. Where is it going to really try and go? Back across here, we are looking at an Ancient Protector being built to try and offer a bit of protection. Are the Glaive Throwers perhaps just going to try and attack? No, I don't believe that range is actually far enough to deal real damage. Goblin Zeppelin could try to drop straight up onto the Glaive Throwers, and that could end up, well, causing some splash damage from those Glaive Throwers while being with inside 0 combat range. All right, are the Glaive Throwers going to be able to get into position? There you go. You can see them attacking the ground right there. There's the repairs. Goblin Zeppelin overhead and just attacking from this range, causing big problems. All right, Ogre Mauler is right here. Keeper of the Grove is right here as well. In comes the fight. We are going to go ahead and get some entangles off. Dryads are now trying to fight back here as the Glaives are, well, getting in some good splash again. They're taking down some more units. Who's coming out ahead alone? Losing a lot. Lawliet getting up a larger army again, as we can see the Warden sitting at level 5. Can it get to level 6? Warden down to 30 supply here, but is sitting on a good amount of gold. What is he going to end up training? Entangled Goldmine was lost. Mountain Giant amongst the units now. What is happening in this battle as the Glaive Thrower push is still underway? Entangle, anti-magic shell onto the Warden. Is the Warden going to be able to dive far enough and free enough? As you can take a look, the Warden down to 288 hit points. Ents are now trying to make their way over. Shadow Strike, Entangle, Warden, well, gonna go ahead and end up surviving as the Glaive Throwers are just going to be dancing around back and forth. Ancient Protector, is it going to try and join in on the battle? You can see an Entangle right there. Please remember that the Mountain Giant does have moon resistant armor, so I believe the Entangle is a little bit shorter, but that still feels very long. Hippogriff still up in the air. Moon unsure of what to be doing. Tree of Life will end up getting taken down, and Moon is now in trouble. Moon down by 10 supply. Meanwhile, Tranquility being used to heal up all of the units here. Glaive Throwers getting healed back up. And, well, a level 6 Keeper of the Grove with Ring of Regeneration just rolling over all of these units now. Let's take a look. Continuing the battle once again. Abolish magic onto the Warden. Warden shadow striking the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove still able to dance around fairly freely. You can see that Ring of Regeneration has a very positive effect as he's going to be able to keep that distance and regenerate back up to full. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants now with siege damage are going to try to make their way over. All right, Mountain Giant in that front line. However, the Glaives are in the backfield. Glaive Throwers dealing so much damage. Warden trying to make its way through. Shadow Strike onto the Keeper of the Grove. And the Keeper of the Grove, well, is really one of the few biological units. Shadow Strike being unable to focus down the Glaive Throwers is a very big deal. That's actually one of the reasons why mortars are perhaps a little bit weaker now compared to many of the other siege units. Meanwhile, making their way through, you can see that the Glaive Throwers are just making their way over. They're going to be able to take down Moonwells extremely fast. 1-0 upgrades, pretty much being able to volley and take down a Moonwell in pretty much no time at all. There goes another building here, and let's take a look. So much damage being used. All right, Ogre Mauler trying to take down some of these units. No Zeppelin to pick that up. We are taking a look at the Tree of Eternity suffering a lot of damage as well. And the Tree of Eternity already down to sub 900 hit points. Another volley could take it down. Keeper of the Grove gets to level 7. And at level 7, it is going to go ahead and, well, leave the battle. All right, economic advantage in favor of Lawliet alone. Now down to 28 supply. Doesn't have a very large army at all. Moon, in a lot of trouble. back across over here. Lawliet is in the driver's seat of this match. Keeper of the Grove back up to full mana pretty much as he now rolls on forward. All right, Hippogriff just flying overhead. Keeper of the Grove does not even bother with an Orb of Venom. Could actually really benefit there. Okay, this almost looks like a 4v4 random team with Glaive Throwers. Yeah, the sheer number of Glaive Throwers in this game right now, at least 7 Glaive Throwers, 2 Dryads, 1 Ogre Mauler, and that's pretty much the entire army trying to go up against Mountain Giants and a Goblin Shredder. Glaive Throwers, as you remember, are mechanical units, which means they cannot get focused down by Storm Bolts, Shadow Strikes. Can they get entangled? I believe they can get entangled still. I'll have to... Someone will correct me if I am wrong. Keeper of the Grove now making its way over. Glaive Thrower is going to quickly try and focus down some of the main buildings here. Hunter's Hall, or perhaps the Tree of Eternity. Tree of Eternity already down to 1,200 hit points. Keeper of the Grove, well, a level 7 Keeper of the Grove better than a level 5 Warden by far. As you can take a look, Tree of Eternity will get destroyed here in just a moment. No more mining. What you see is what you get. Warden is sitting at level 6, but without mana, what can it really hope to do? Back down across here. Ents now making their way forward. There is the game. Lawliet Moon unable to hold on to an early advantage. Lawliet with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.